SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple. Incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts. From the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu from salmon to scampi and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And a good Monday afternoon to you. The mics are hot
Already.
here on the McFarland Show. One McFarland is here. Darren, present. Justin.
Hello?
Justin McFarland, not here. Actually traveling today, so he will not be on the show today. In his place for the first hour.
What?
You just heard him.
What?
Check, 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 check.
That sounds like Billy Ocean. You'll never find.
Chris Sanders.
Okay, first of all, can we start the show off by how in the world you going to have a co-host with somebody or a host? Did y'all have the same last name? Is that unreal?
Well, after
That's unreal.
After putting together a marketing team and getting in a room for, months and trying to come up with a good show name, we felt like McFarland Show made a lot of sense.
I know, last names.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense because how many people work together, they have the same last name and aren't related.
This is
like the Golics work together, but it's Mike, it's dad and son.
But just imagine how the conversation went. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Darren. What's your last name? McFarland. Oh, I'm a McFarland. I mean, how you could have come with that? That's unreal.
I know Booger. I know your last name is McFarland. Oh, it's not Booger, is it? No.
What? You okay?
It's weird.
It
Yeah,
is weird.
yeah. I'm doing
but y'all
better.
don't look nothing alike.
It is weird. We're not related. You wouldn't know that, but we're actually not related.
One looks like John Belushi and one looks like Rock from the
Thank you. I kind of look like Rock, but not. I don't do the eyebrow thing.
No, but
you weren't talking about me.
But hey, man, you look great, man.
Who was the Rock? I didn't know who you were. I thought you were talking about me. No.
It already started. First 5 minutes. I love how can I count the ways?
Thanks for coming in today.
Oh man, pleasure's all mine. I wouldn't miss it. I love coming in here talking to you guys, talking about some Tennessee Titans football. I know everybody's mad. Yeah. You're mad. I'm mad. You came in, frowning at everybody.
Yeah, I was.
You kicked the squirrel that walked across.
I did. But I missed.
You missed.
I missed. I tried. I missed.
You're an athlete. Athlete's supposed to do
he
that.
Stuck his tail out, but I missed. Went right through where his tail was.
I know it's a crazy story. I know we're talking about football, but I have a mold problem in my yard.
So a lot of people, they're digging.
They went from cover 2 to cover 2 to start blitzing.
Yeah,
and
they
I
don't mess around.
I don't know what to do.
They bring the house, don't they?
I got blitzed and couldn't get off my spot. I felt. Now I know how Tannehill feels.
Are you hurt? Did the moles hurt you?
Yeah, they did. I lift off the grass.
Actually, now that you say that, I've hurt my ankle trying to kick that squirrel coming in.
It's not.
By the way,
yes, sir.
Mole problems are
it's the
not
worst.
a laughing matter.
I want.
It's the worst.
When I drive off to work, I'm like, oh, my grass look good. I'm like, ooh, that's good.
Oh, do you
come
step
back
in it?
home?
Yeah,
and it is 4 or 5
mess.
mounds.
Yeah,
I did everything. I put.
So how do you do? Does anybody know what's the solution? Like you can't go Caddyshack and drop sticks of dynamite down in the holes and blow them up.
I mean, I'm doing the drastic stuff, and I can't can't tell you on air.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because somebody said they had a remedy of what they did, but it's kind of weird.
Oh, it's
and it still didn't work. They just went from over here to cover 2 to blitzing, and jamming me at the line of scrimmage. I couldn't get off the jam.
Are they backpedaling now?
Everything. I mean, it's like Ray Lewis just coming at me.
I'm serious. You
it
can't.
Is.
How do you get rid of them?
Darren, I don't know, and it makes me frustrated. I mean, every time I come home and I go get my mail out of the mailbox, and I see those big old mounds, and I just be like, "What in the Sam E?"
And they'll peek up and they'll wave at you and everything.
They'll be like, "Hey, Chris, glad that you're home.
It's good to say.
Hey, what's for dinner?"
What you don't eat, could you throw out here? We'll finish it off.
Hey, got the grass. We're good. You're good. I'm going to watch that.
Actually, we're stuffed. We've been eating your yard for days. We're stuffed.
Hey,
it feels like Thanksgiving in our holes.
Hey, one time, some of them left, and I know we got to get to the show, but it went into the other person's yard. When I say it tore that thing up, but then now they came back in mine and said we like mine better. So we're good.
Well, that stinks.
Yeah, I'm sad.
You need to get a crappier yard.
You are unreal.
You know what?
Yes, sir. Okay.
We have to.
Yeah.
I feel like we had to do that because
gotta smile.
The rest of the stuff. It's kind of depressing.
It is. I mean,
because London was not their friend.
No, it wasn't.
Yesterday.
I mean, if you look at Lamar Jackson and those guys, they came out with a lot of energy. I mean, they were ready, and you can tell that they did something different to get prepared. The Titans started out slow. I mean, the offense kind of was sluggish, and later on in the game, they made some big plays. But at the end of the day, they didn't make enough plays. They made a lot of mistakes. I mean, you had the Kyle Phillips things that we were talking about before we got on air. That was a tough situation. And then you have Simmons that where I think it was 3rd down and he pushes OBJ and gives them a 1st down. I mean, when you have things like that, when you're not an elite team, you can't make mistakes like that against a team that's pretty good.
Yeah. And some of the things Mike Vrabel's starting to say, like when you start saying stuff like that out loud, and especially when you're a calculated guy like Vrabel, I know he wears his heart on his sleeve and all that, but you start saying stuff like, can this be fixed? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some of it we're going to try to fix it, but I mean, some of it may not be correct. Like when your coach is saying that out loud, it's like, uh-oh.
But they're looking to you, and they're looking to you, Darren. And I played for Montgomery Bell Academy. We started 0-4. So our kids are looking to us. If I come out and I'm pouting, and I come out and I don't have no enthusiasm, and I don't coach like I coach if we were 10-0, then they're going to follow my lead. They're going to pick up that. They're going to know if you're phony. And that's the reason why I love Coach Uverard, our head coach. He came in the meeting room. He said, listen, they're watching us. We got to create the energy. We can't be pointing fingers. We got to act like we're 10-0. And all of a sudden, we won 2 or 3 games in a row. And now, if we beat Baylor, now we have the 2nd seed. I mean, what in the Sammy Hill is going on? So, listen, everybody talks about this stuff about, we got to buy in. I don't believe in that. You got to trust in. When you have we have people to say they buy in, that means I have to do it. Well, I just got to come to practice. No, when you trust in, that means I'm trusting you through the process, the start, the middle, and the end. That's what it means to trust in.
When I think buy in, I think you actually paid. So,
Give
so
$5,
I like trust in.
Is it $5? Give me $5.
I have to. I paid.
see, that's the attitude. You say, I got to buy in.
Right, you have to.
But if you say I trust in. And you watch, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to brag on NBA or anything, because we were down in the dumps. We were 0-4, and everybody like, "What the heck is wrong with you?"
I even said something to you. I think on the air. I was like, "What's going on?"
And I wanted to fight you. You didn't know that. I threw the phone. I was upset, but
took your shirt off.
I'm kind of swole though. But the kids, when we walked out, when I started my drills, I cracked a joke. You know, I had a mama joke, and they looked at me and they started laughing. So now they started to ease, like, okay, if coach can smile through adversity, then I can too. Then all of a sudden we get a win, and then it's going to start to build momentum. Yeah, we got a long way to go. We got a lot of work to do. But at the end of the day, we got to trust in. And the same with these Tennessee Titans. When you hear Simmons say this, and I wrote this quote down, it says this. It says, we need to find out who wants to be a Titan. That's a scary quote.
Okay, you tell me, former player, you tell me what that means.
That means that a lot of people are not committed, and he sees it.
Committed or trust in?
Or not trusted in. There you go. Thank you for correcting.
I didn't use buy-in.
You didn't use buy-in, to trust in.
They haven't trusted in.
Anybody, and I'm going to go back to last year with NBA. We went 12-0 in the whole season. So it was easy to buy in. But can you buy in when you're 0-4? Can you buy in when you're 0-6? Can you buy in when the chips are down and make something happen? I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. Same situation. We started out 1-4. Next you know, we ran the runoff. We won the regions, and then all of a sudden we went to state and lost to Macaulay. But we found a way. We trusted in each other, and that's what a lot of people say. We say all the cute things and all the, hey brother, you know we're in this together. You got to play for your teammate. But can I play for a teammate when he messes up? And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be quiet for a second. This situation that happened in the game made me so mad, and I wanted to throw this at the TV. When Kyle Phillips fumbled, and he went to go sit on the bench, and DeAndre Hopkins got up and left. I literally wanted to throw everything I had at that TV, because basically he was saying, I care about you on a condition. I think that's wrong, and I'm upset about that.
What do you make of Kyle? I mean, you are taught as a returner.
Yes.
For I don't know what age it starts, but you hear the message for a long time. It's not just at the pros. It's not just in college.
Yeah.
It's probably well before high school, or at least in high school.
Little League.
Okay? Like there is a level, and then there's levels after that, that your whole career is charted out. You're told the same message about returners. Like, I get it. He's still fairly young, pro, and hasn't played much because he's been, unfortunately, injured a lot.
True.
That has nothing to do with this conversation. It really doesn't. I know he doesn't have the seat time, but, man, how on earth do you go up and try to make that fair catch or that catch? Why? What's the point? And where he was, you are taught to let that go, right?
Absolutely. From 15 on in, you should let that go and let it bounce into the end zone. But here's where it starts at. You know, in practice, we consistently say what you just say. When it's about a 15, you got to let it go. But in the game, there's so many things that are going on that you kind of forget. So as a coach, when we give our playbook out, there's reminders on the side to remind us, okay, in this position, in this scenario, this is what you have to do. So as a coach, I'm supposed to remind him when he gets ready to run the field, even if he knows it or not. Like this, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Just imagine if we have a 2-minute drill and we need a field goal to win, but we got 2 minutes to score and we have 0 timeouts. Even though the kids may know it is 2 minutes left, I remind them that, remember, we have no timeouts. You got to catch the ball and get out of bounds. So it's just a reminder. So as a special teams coach, I think Ackerman should have reminded him or have somebody remind him if he wasn't on the field to make sure if the ball's on the 15 to let it go. So that's on both sides.
Yeah, that was a gut punch play.
That
right before the half. That's a gut punch. I'm not willing to say it cost them the game because it didn't cost them the game. It certainly didn't help.
No. It really didn't.
You just gifted the Ravens 3 points right before the half.
Listen, have you ever looked in the NFL? Has that ever happened before halftime? I was thinking about that yesterday.
I'm sure.
Not in that capacity where you have 1 second.
I know.
To kick. I mean, it's 7 seconds on the clock.
Basically, the last play before the half.
Last play before 1 second, yeah. 7 seconds, and it's 1 second for you to get a field goal.
Yeah,
that's unreal.
That's I don't know. I mean, again, it was not the reason they lost. It certainly didn't help. There was a lot of reasons. Dillard was benched. Nicholas Petit-Frere finished at left tackle. He had more snaps. The Dillard, I think I saw, 32 snaps for NPF, 24 snaps for Dillard. This is just me. Again, I'll ask you, as former player, you've seen this happen before.
Uh-huh.
I don't see any scenario. I know they're going into a bye week, and then it'll be the Falcons here. I can't imagine from now until then they're like, yeah, we're going back to Dillard. It's just a London thing. Like, he'll be fine.
No,
I kind of feel like, it's going to be Nicholas Petit-Frere. at least coming out of the bye week.
Right.
And then it'll be up to him to keep that position. But I just can't imagine they're going back to Dillard, right?
No,
he was benched.
He was benched, but it's been inconsistent all year. Let me ask you a question, see if you can answer this. Which guy has given up the most sacks?
Dillard. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Tannehill injury, what happened?
It was Dillard.
Got blown up, pushed back into him, and on his ankle. And
he's not and I'm talking about the player because I want to be very careful. I'm not talking about the kid. I don't know the kid outside the film. I'm talking about the player because I feel bad talking about players. But he's not a variable guy. And when I say a variable guy, when you have a variable guy, he's hard-nosed and he's tough. I'm not saying this guy's not tough, but on the football field, his technique doesn't allow him to be tough. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk about linemen like look at Taylor Lewan. Taylor Lewan's crazy, but even though sometimes he pretends to be tough, he's got a little toughness in him. He's got a little dog in him.
Look at the Bills' offensive line last night.
Man, ran through somebody's lips.
How about the tussling they were doing with the Giants? I mean, they were constantly being separated by the referees.
And in camp, Arden Key, man, he was just blowing up Dillard. Like he stole his Cracker Jacks. I mean, everything, blowing him up. But as a lineman, you got to have some of that craziness in you, that dog in you. And what's that guy's name? He used to play for us with the Tennessee Titans, who went to the Philadelphia, and now he's a mayor or something. What was his name? He was.
You talking about the one that was the
senator,
the offensive lineman?
Yes, remember him?
Yes. Gosh, Chris, why did you?
I know.
We'll think about it.
Okay,
I'm going to. Runyon.
Thank you, Runyon. When I say Runyon didn't say a word off the field, but when he's on the field, he will choke you. He'll grab your right hand, his left hand, and literally choke you and then walk back to the huddle.
Michael Roos never spoke.
But he would tear your nose hairs off. I mean, every nose hair you got, he's ripping them out. And I'm not saying that Dillard doesn't have that dog in him, but when you're talking about a variable guy, a hard-nosed, tough, physical guy, I just don't think Dillard is that physical guy. He's a big specimen. He's big. He's over 300 pounds. But when you're talking about a guy that makes you afraid, like Ogden from the Baltimore Ravens, when he ran through your face, you're like, do I want to play this game? Because he imposed his will on you. With Dillard, I say this all respectful, he's not that kind of guy that's going to do that. He's going to shake your hand and say, hey, you want to go to Waffle House? I mean, that's great, but you just can't do that.
Nothing wrong with that, but to your point,
you got to run through somebody's lips and then help them up. Like, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Bruce Matthews. Bruce Matthews was, when I tell you, he was the worst athlete I've ever seen, but his technique was great, and he'll fight you to the end. Yeah. That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
And can play every position.
And he hated to lose. When you have a person that hates to lose, you give me 11 of those guys. They may not be the most athletic or be the most talented, but a guy that will fight you to the end, you're going to win some ball games. And he's one of the reasons why we went to the Super Bowl.
Yep, you're exactly right about that. All right, we'll take our first break. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Chris Sanders in the house here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio for the first hour of the show. And then we'll hear from Mike Vrabel. We'll hear from Vince Ferrara in Knoxville all in the second hour. You can get involved by calling that phone line or texting in, and we can talk with you. Your reaction to what took place over the weekend. More of the McFarland Show coming up next here on Nashville Sports Radio.
This is something I wish I'd known. Many people who live in Tennessee are eligible for help paying for healthy food for pregnant and new moms, their babies, and young children, but don't realize it. Family income can be higher than you think. There's a website called TennesseeMeals.com for more information. Assistance for healthy food for expectant moms and young children. This information I need to share. TennesseeMeals.com.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Justice Center, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and
post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call Low Cost Airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Jim Rome Show.
Man, I love Facebook. That's not in any way a time suck. It is such a valuable use of your time. Going on everybody else's page and posting how beautiful they look when they don't. They don't. You know they don't. Come on. Anyway, do what you want with your time. I don't want you to tell me how to spend my time. I won't say how to spend your time, but I will tell you this. Stop cropping out pictures and including yourself and then acting like, hey, my hair looked great that day. My makeup was perfect that day. Just do what I tell you. With regards to this, you'll be fine.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio. Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Not today. Just half of the McFarlands and Chris Sanders.
That's the song right there.
What?
That song right there?
What you got?
Want me to sing for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, it was Saturday and Monday, too. I can count to 3, but I can count to 4, but I can't count to 2.
And that's not the worst of the song you just made up. Chris Sanders, a man of...
I don't even know where I came up with that
a bunch of buck.
It's impossible to sing along because those aren't the words.
Right.
Oh, I thought they were.
You got to know the words, Chris.
I gave him my all. I gave him my best. As long as you give it your all, that's all that matters. That's what my mama said. My mama said.
If it was a gospel song, you probably could have got it.
Oh, I would have got it.
Yeah.
I gave my all, but I guess my all wasn't good enough.
No.
We went back where we were before.
Is that Billy Ocean? Who is that?
That's
No, that's the Wildest.
No, that is
Wait a minute.
Fleetwood Mac.
That is not
Fleetwood Mac. Oh man!
Listen,
I should know that.
I have done so many of these shows with Chris, and I have learned don't ever, whatever he tells you musically, you better fact check it because he'll just start throwing out names, man.
Remember we had that name that tune? That was so much fun.
That was.
Can you believe that was almost 20 years ago?
Yeah, I know. And that was radio gold.
That was so much fun, man.
We used to literally play Name That Tune on the air
much fun.
with Chris, and it was hilarious. Play like 8 notes, and then he would be like Conway Twitty. I mean, he would just start going. Then the guesses he had.
Oh my God, we gotta laugh.
Priceless.
We gotta laugh in life, man. I ain't trying to be on my soapbox. We gotta make what we do fun. You gotta love your job. I love coming on the air, and I love doing what I do.
Well, that's why you've been doing it for so long.
Well, it's been an honor, man, and it's just I know we talk about sports and everything, but people need to understand that athletes, entertainers have a different side. Everybody thought I was serious and just had a unibrow, so they couldn't tell if I was happy or sad. But just
and you were swole.
And I'm still kind of swole.
You are. How do you do that?
High faith to my girlfriend. She think I'm swole. Hi, girl. Okay, I love you too. She gonna be mad at me when I do that.
Usually you're wearing. See, this is what's weird.
Oh, you want me to take my shirt off?
Right? Because typically you're wearing painted on shirts. Like I'm like, is that a shirt or did you spray paint a shirt on?
One of my favorite.
And today he's got like a loose sweatshirt. A loose sweatshirt.
One of my faithful callers said that was James Ingram.
James Ingram.
James Ingram.
James. What's wrong? Can we find a way? That's how you do the lips.
Yeah, you gotta do the lips like that.
Okay, I'm in red for my stop. Can we
All right.
find a way?
Stay in your lane.
Let's go to the phone.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
Let's start with Tony. Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey.
Let me get my jaws back in place. Let me laughing. That's some pretty good stuff.
Thank you.
That's pretty good, Chris. You brought a different chapter to this book. So
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Guys, first of all, Brock Bowers, I hate it for him. Guy plays the game the right way. I think everybody likes Brock Bowers. He's an old throwback to years ago of the old tight end position, but he brings a lot more to it. But I hate seeing him go down with an injury like that, and hopefully he'll bounce back pretty quick. And
well, let's put that out there because we haven't said it, Tony, and thank you for bringing it up.
Thank you,
Georgia
Tony.
was at Vanderbilt.
Oh, I know.
And it was actually a pretty competitive game. We watched it. We were playing a tournament up in Donaldson area, and we went out to eat afterwards as a team. And they had this barbecue joint, and they had TVs everywhere. And they had the Vandy Georgia game on, and so we were watching a good portion of it. But Brock Bowers got hurt, ankle injury. And it looks like from all the reports today, he is going to elect for the surgery, and it looks like his career at Georgia is over. So what does that mean for the number one team in the land? And he's one of the best players in the country.
Ooh.
I think McConkey for them will have to step up, which is a good receiver, but I think he'll step up his role.
Well, they're going to have to step up, but I mean, as we saw in the Auburn game, Tony, I mean, he is their offense, right? I mean,
oh, no doubt, yeah.
I mean, he is the guy. He is almost unguardable. He reminds me on the collegiate level of like a Travis Kelce and the pro level. Like if you want to throw to him 14 times, he's going to catch it 14 times.
Right. It's in the zip code. Well, we've got we've got this real good wide receiver hosting with you today on the show, and he knows all about a receiver.
Yeah.
And, and if it's stowed in the zip code, area code, a lot of times good receivers, they're going to find a way to, bring it in. So, and in that game, let's turn a little bit. Vandy played aggressive. I thought they played with a lot more purpose.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
I thought they brought a physicality is what I'm trying to say, part of the game to Georgia. And guys, I think if they had brought that same physicality in the Wake Forest, in the UNLV, in the Kentucky game, they might have a 13th game this season. But they didn't do that, and I think, it's who knows where it might lead to down the road. But that is something. And, Darren, I've talked a lot. You know how I feel about the punters. Being a punter myself, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
There were two plays this weekend that involved the punter. Y'all done touched on the one in the Titans game. And the other, in case you didn't see it, did y'all see the fake punt Missouri ran on Kentucky? And the punter dropped a dime to the wide receiver going down the field.
No, I missed that play.
Oh, yeah. Missouri was down 14-0. Kentucky's up 14-0. And on 4th and 10 from the 46, he dropped a dime on a fake punt. And, buddy, it was perfect. It's beautiful. And you need to look it up when you can. But it actually started Missouri's scoring. But that happened. And one last thing, guys, I want to ask y'all this. late the other night, I was watching Air Force. They beat Wyoming. And Darren, I don't know if that was your pick or not, but somebody took Wyoming. But Air Force, the cadets, after the win, Air Force knocked them off. The cadets stormed the field. Now, they say they stormed the field to sing their alma mater. And we're talking about a military school here. Who's going to pay that fine? Is it going to be taxpayers? Is it going to be Air Force and staff? I'm just curious how that fine gets attributed and sent to the NCAA.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one. I'm not touching that.
I didn't think so. I told my wife, I said, I wonder if that's a fine for them or not.
Yeah.
I know it would be on some others. But, yeah, what a great weekend for football, guys. And
sure was.
I'll let y'all touch on some of that stuff.
All right. Thank you,
Chris,
Tony.
Always good talking to you.
Oh, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I know you're a good football coach, so stick to it.
Yes, sir.
So the singing bit, you might get away with it some, not any others. See you guys.
Hey, love you, man. Appreciate you.
That was an honest assessment.
That was honest. And who does he sound like? I give you $5 if you say who he sounds like. Greg Pogue. Sounds just like I thought it was him.
My
you
God.
think it sounds
Greg's
like
gonna be
Pogue?
upset.
Sounds just like him because I was like,
sounds like Pogie?
I was gonna say, man, quit playing. That's what I was gonna say in the conversation.
Really?
Yes, he sounds just like him.
Wow. Okay.
Darren, this
I love
next
it.
guy is the guy who knew who James Ingram was.
Okay.
I got to give him credit.
Well, I need to also say this because I guess maybe some things have changed. That's what it was this morning. So we got the TVs on here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio, and one of them is on College Football Live. Brock Bowers has a high ankle sprain.
Oh, that's good.
And he's
though.
getting the tightrope surgery. Okay, that's the new term. I know it's the new term for what they're doing. It's what Tannehill had on his ankle.
Oh,
and they're saying 4 to 6 weeks. I thought everything I was seeing earlier today was his season was done, but they're saying 4 to 6 weeks.
But do you come back if you know you're gonna be a high draft pick?
That's a great question.
I mean,
that's a great question. I didn't say what, but if they're in the playoffs and they're gonna. I mean, but that does.
But isn't 4 to 6 weeks the end of the year?
Yeah, but they're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, he probably won't come back.
It goes now. This
to win 3 straight titles.
But here's the deal. We always talk about buying in and trusting. What we say at the beginning. Are you going to trust in the process and say, "Wait"? At the beginning in camp, we always say, "Let's ride this thing out together." But do I ride together when it if it doesn't benefit me?
But I don't know. I'm just saying that we know that, but the trend has been with players not in playoff. Well, that's not true. Some have, but most of it is usually just teams in like a December 28th bowl game. And they're like, yeah, we're out. I'm out.
But I still would play though.
Well, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm saying a lot of kids aren't, and as you know.
Yeah, and I think that we got to put our money where our mouth is. And everybody's like, oh, he's going to get hurt, this and that. You can get hurt the second game of the year. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. And I understand the risk of playing in a game that late. But if we talk about we're trusting and we're finished, then, I think they should finish. That's just my point of view.
Yeah. Let's go to Doug. Doug, you're up next. Welcome in.
Good afternoon, man. It's good to talk to Tippy Toes.
Hey, how you doing?
Chris Sanders.
I got scared.
He always gave my son some love back in the camp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Going deep camp.
Yep, I remember that.
He's now a college football player now.
Dang, you telling my age.
I've got to give a mark, a demerit to you for not knowing James Ingram.
Oh.
You got to know that. And also, you know, honorable mention, wrote the lyrics for Michael Jackson. Pretty young.
No way.
Yeah, man. Don't put me on the spot. Where did you come from, lady? And won't you take me there right away? Won't you, baby? Tell me when you got to be sparked by nature. Sugar, fly with me. James Ingram.
What?
Pretty young thing.
Doug, I feel bad. I'm the OG of radio. I didn't know all that.
See, I'm only 52. Y'all old.
Quincy Jones.
Dang.
James Ingram, who was also a backup player before somebody recognized his voice. And hence.
I remember Quincy Jones.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but pretty young thing. Google it. Person that wrote it, I'll put my money on it.
Just don't let Chris sing it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I'd started to go through it, but I just said, no, Kristen already did it.
Man, we appreciate you.
Great segment this morning. Sound like Rocky Graciano and Tex Cobb this morning. It was pretty nice. Well, you guys went at it with Teresa Walker that was cool. Little segment. But my question is, I'll keep hearing from Derrick Henry, Coach Vrabel, I believe even Mayor of Murfreesboro, keep using the word execute. When you use that word, and I'm trying to read into it maybe too much, are we talking about players not being able to play, coaches not coaching, or both, or we don't have enough guys on the field that can produce what you want us to do? Keep saying execute. We're this deep in the season still talking about execution. Or is that just a coach speak word that says we're doing the best we can?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
That's a great question. And I remember, I think it was maybe about 3 weeks ago, I think it was Byers said this. He said this. He said we need 11 guys doing their job. And when you say 11 guys doing their job, you may have 10 guys doing a great job, but you have one guy that doesn't, and he can mess up the whole play. I'm going to give you a perfect example. They were playing the Los Angeles Chargers. You have the guard and the tackle, and you have a linebacker that's mugging the gap. When I say mugging the gap, he's standing in the gap, and he's going to blitz. The guard and the tackle have to communicate to say he's coming. Nobody said anything, and he blitzed, and they stopped him on fourth down. That's the kind of things that we're talking about executing and make everybody doing their job. If they do their job, then Tannehill has a job to look down and throw the ball. But they didn't because they didn't pick up the blitz and nobody communicate. That's what you're talking about when execution and 11 guys doing their job.
There's nothing no worse than when you don't talk. I played on the backside.
Yep.
If I said, "Mike, I'm going in on this one, you got me."
There you go.
Safety. Hey, man, you got me. I said, we're on this side of the field. I'm going in on this. You got me. And we talk. Always, coaching DBs and stuff. I said, man, you got to talk. You can call what kind of defense you want to call. But you boys better be talking back here.
Yep.
So if you're not, what's the word execution from head coach, defensive king back here, Mr. Byard, and your running backs guy? There's three phases.
It's 3 phases.
Everybody using the same word. So you guys talk about it. I'll think about James Ingram. And Mr. King, keep up the good work.
He's doing a great job.
Duty. Talk to you guys later.
He's got the voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's 5 o'clock. Then it turned 8 o'clock. Then it went back to 5. No, it didn't go back to 3. That's the best voice in America. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That was a great call. Love it, love it, love it.
So
yes.
What are the players saying? What is the coach saying with a lot of this stuff? Where a lot of people are like, is this just coach speak or is this something to think about?
It is coach talk, but you got to look into it deeper. See, I coach, just like I said, I've been coaching for a long time. I've been coaching for 19 years now, so I know all the verbiage. What he's saying is there's a couple of people on both sides of the ball, special teams, are not doing their job. And if you look on defense, the guy or the name that keeps coming up is Fulton.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's doing their job. The front is putting pressure on the quarterback. Then all of a sudden it's third and 16 or 3rd and 12, and you get a pass interference. That's kind of what he's talking about. And to put it in plain terms, we can say, well, everybody's doing their job. Basically, what they're saying is it's a nice way to say that everybody's not doing their job, but they're not pointing at a specific guy, but everybody knows who they're talking about.
This weekend, you lived the life in the NFL, and you understand it. It is look. It's why it's so popular.
Right.
It is so hard from week to week to think about it. Yeah. Cleveland trotted out P.J. Walker. People were like, "Oh, is that a new Scotch that's out there?" No, it's the quarterback. What? Yeah, it was the quarterback because Deshaun Watson is out, and they went with a guy last week, and he was awful, and he's a rookie, and they went with P.J. Walker. And they're playing the 49ers, which I think collectively the whole entire country believes is the best team in the land right now. And they beat the 49ers. Like, how? How did they beat
week to week
the 49ers? The Eagles.
Yes, that's crazy.
The Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champs. And they play the Jets.
And the Jets dominated them.
And the Jets beat the Eagles. And Hurts threw, 3 picks? And
4. He threw 4.
It was bad. They looked bad. And the Bills, I was watching them last night against the Giants. They should have lost at home to the Giants, who have been getting smoked all year. And the Bills should have lost at home. How do you explain the week in and week out of the NFL where sometimes you just look around and you're like, how did that happen?
But you know what's the good thing about it? The good part about it is, Darren, is there's no dominant team. I mean, I know everybody's talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, but they are vulnerable. Their offensive line is bad. Their defense is okay, so anybody can beat anybody.
And they just find a way to win. They're not winning 40-10.
Name two of the receivers that you know in there.
Well, I know them. They're not very good.
They're not very good. See,
but, I mean, it's like you got the Sky Moores of the world and
Tony
Scantling and
see, I mean,
Kadarius Toney. Like, it's not the who's who of receivers.
You know, Mark Duper, he's out there. He's out there.
No, he was actually really good.
But I'll give you a perfect example. I think it was a couple of weeks ago where the Miami Dolphins beat somebody 70
They
to
beat
20.
the Broncos.
70, then the next week they get beat by 30. What are we talking about? And, I mean, you look at the Tennessee Titans that are up and down. They'll beat somebody and then get beat, but it just all depends on, who's going to be hot that week and who plays consistent. But there's no dominant team, especially in the AFC South.
615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Step away, take another quick one, come back, get to you, Bill, on the other side. You listen to the McFarland Show, WNSR.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
When you've experienced the loss of a loved one, you can trust SAG Funeral Home to guide you through the process of honoring their life. At SAG Funeral Home, they pride themselves in serving families in Nashville and surrounding areas with dignity, respect, and compassion. The staff is experienced in a variety of funeral services and can help you celebrate your loved one, no matter your religion, culture, or budget. Family and veteran-owned funeral home and cremations now are handled all in one location. We'll help create a personalized experience to pay tribute to your loved one's unique life. Ask about the pre-planning service as well. SAG Funeral Home, serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 40 years. In your time of need, you need someone you can trust who can provide comfort to your family in a very professional way. SAG Funeral Home, 1503 Buchanan Street. Call today, 615-244-5044. 615-244-5044. SAG Funeral Home, for comfort and care in your time of need. SAG Funeral Home, proud sponsor of TSU football on WNSR.
This is the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
DW, how you doing,
Hey,
my friend?
Daryl. One thing I think we've learned is how many race fans are in the Nashville market. This is racing territory. For all those people that have sat back and hoped and wished and prayed that the Cup cars would come back, well, they're going to come back to Lebanon, and eventually I think they'll be back at the fairgrounds.
Greg Pogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR. Nashville Sports Radio.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. For today, we'll have clouds and a stray shower, the high 60. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 44. Tuesday, patchy morning fog, otherwise sunny, high 64. Sunny Wednesday. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi. Sports Radio, WNSR.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
You can do that. You can also watch the show. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Darren McFarland, Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver. Off camera, Damon Keene.
What up, Damon?
Been in radio since 1949.
Not correct.
No?
Thank you very much. 1994. No.
No.
Actually, 1976.
Dang, I was 4 years old.
There we go.
1976.
I was 4.
Columbia Central High School. Graduated and went. I didn't want to work on the farm and didn't want to work in a factory. So
Yeah.
my dad was a preacher. He
That's
said, you got to
awesome.
have a job.
Well, you do a great job, sir.
You made the right choice between those other ones.
you remind me of one of my friends I grew up with. His name was, I think it was Art, and I think his last name was Monk. You know who Art Monk is? Yeah. Yeah, y'all look alike.
I'm just Damon.
I'm not sure how to take
let's go to
that.
the phone. So you
I think Art Buck was.
you just don't know Chris well enough
Did
yet.
he get in trouble?
No, he played for the Redskins. No.
Oh boy, let's go to Bill. Bill, what's up?
Hey, Darren, give me a second. I'm picking up a prescription. Give me a second.
Okay.
A prescription for Stidham, William Stidham, 101.
You might want to put him put him on hold so his info doesn't get out there.
Yeah.
Damon.
What was he doing?
I don't. He's picking up a prescription, but he's going to give out all of his info. And
Wait a minute.
My social security number is 475 3275.
honestly, that's what I was worried about. Here's my debit card number.
Be like, what was that again?
You want to try
Get
it
on
again?
Amazon.
Bill, are you ready?
Here's the code on the back of my credit card.
You ready, Bill?
I'm ready.
Okay, Bill.
Okay.
We podded you down, man, because I didn't want your info to get out
Hope
there.
the prescription didn't cost you
Appreciate
much.
that. Appreciate that. Now, Chris, you
Yes.
were working with Hall of Famer Greg Pogue Saturday night, right?
He's crazy. Yes.
He's crazy.
Okay. Was it me, or were those uniforms hard to read?
They were so hard to read. They were very hard. TSU's they were very nice. I mean, very exquisite.
they were great looking.
They were awesome. I mean, the color, it was all black and it had some trimming like pink, but you couldn't see the numbers because they were really dark. So we were struggling a little bit on there because you know who made the tackle. And this is how it was. And he made the tackle.
Who?
Oh, it's John Jackson from Mississippi. you gotta make up a name.
The other thing I wanted to ask,
Yes,
and I'll
sir.
hang up and listen,
Sure.
is do you guys think that the bloom has fallen a little off the rose for Caleb Williams? Since his performance Saturday night at Notre Dame was not exactly Heisman level. And with that, I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think I would hang anything on Caleb Williams. What Bill said is correct. They got trounced
By
in
Notre
South
Dame.
Bend. But they haven't had any success there, as Pete Weber told me last week. They going to South Bend has not been their friend, and that continued. I think when I've watched USC a lot of games this year, what really stands out is the obvious: their defense or
Their
lack
defense,
of.
yeah,
Their defense is awful, and so look, if you go through, I know everything is in the moment. I get it, and we're prisoners of the moment, and we always judge because we think that a game changes that. If you go back and look at all the Heisman Trophy winners, like that they didn't all have like every game was like, oh my gosh, they did it again, right? Like they have off games, they do. We remember the big, huge plays and the spectacular plays or a spectacular game. I mean, I do think Reggie Bush may have won the Heisman on that one game that everybody was watching, and he made some amazing plays, and it was that one play that may have won it for him. But if we go back and watch all the games and all the plays that year, was he like, there was probably a couple of games in there that we were like, wow, Reggie Bush, where was he at? Where was all his numbers? I'm just saying, Caleb Williams was not going to throw for 450 and 4 touchdowns every game this year.
Defense, they're going to scheme you.
Yeah.
They're going to take away your best, and that's exactly what Notre Dame did.
They did.
They took it away.
They were fantastic.
And he was frustrated. And when you get a quarterback frustrated, you're just not going to play well. But I think, with the people that are making these choices, they need to pick the guy that they know is the best player in college football. And sometimes we go by numbers, and sometimes I don't think it's right. But go with the best player that impacts his player. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Michigan. Woodson. Was it Woodson?
Mm-hmm. You're talking about
from Michigan.
You talking about back in the day?
Back in the day, yes. Back in the day.
Yeah.
He was clear cut.
Charles Woodson.
But look at all the play. He made some plays, but there were some other players that had better stats.
But he also had the Heisman game.
Yeah, but that's the point that I'm making. He was the best player overall in college football at that time.
Yeah.
So,
Chris,
yes.
I think some people from UT might disagree with you on that. Was that the same year?
Was that Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that was.
I do the Jeff Richard voice.
You remember that controversy?
I ain't gonna get in it.
You played against Woodson.
Did
you not?
Did I?
You had to.
I think maybe when he played for the Raiders.
Well,
I don't think
Raiders.
I think I played against him once. If he did, I ate him up. So I
really? You ate him up, huh?
I know. D Mace ate him up on Monday night.
Did he?
When he played for tore him up. Derek Mace ate his lunch. Ate him like bad. Had 130 some yards against him. If we went 1-on-1 in the parking lot, I still get him. With no pads on, a mouth guard, 1-bar face mask. We good to go. Come on, Rob. Let's go get it.
All right, we are going to trust in for one more segment.
Yep.
Trust in on this hour. And one more segment with forever Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders, and then he's got to go to practice. Practice? Practice, man. Yeah, practice. That's what we're talking about. We'll come back. More of the McFarland Show next.
I'm on Dead Man's Bend at midnight when my gas light pops on. I see a gas station ahead. Just my luck. Or is it? I walk in. The attendant lifts a bony finger towards me and croaks, "You want a Halloween jumbo bucks?" I whisper it terrified, "No." And as I leave, he asks the lady behind me. She says, "Okay." And then, she wants $75,000.
Scare up some cash with the Halloween Jumbo Bucks instant game. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, hair-raising fun. Please play responsibly.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-898-6155 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. What do you have to lose? Call 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full-body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full-body treatment or even a couple's massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Mocara Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Mocara Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
You want to work at the OG of hot chicken? Princess Hot Chicken is coming to Tanger Outlet Mall, 4060 Cane Ridge Parkway, Suite 102 in Antioch. Princess is looking for fun, energetic, and friendly smiley faces as food runners and cashiers, looking to create an amazing culinary team. Interested in working in a great environment with great hourly wages? Please submit a resume to princesshotchickenafa@gmail.com. Fill out an application on the Princess Hot Chicken website. That's princesshotchicken.com. Click on Join Our Team. PrincessHotChicken.com.
It's a Bill King Show.
We are college football centric. That is the sun that warms our planet that we live on. Our planet actually isn't flat or round. It's an oblong spheroid. And we are here to proselytize about it, edify it every day on this here radio show.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I was reading a tweet John Glennon put out there. The Pro Football Focus numbers, Andre Dillard and Nicholas Petit-Frere. They split time in Sunday's loss in London to the Ravens. Dillard was in on 24 snaps, 4 pressures allowed, 1 sack, 2 quarterback hits, 1 hurry. A 34.3 overall grade. Nicholas Petit-Frere, 32 snaps, 4 pressures allowed, 2 sacks, 2 hurries, a 32.2 overall grade. So I think I get it. We're all quick to replace Dillard, right? Mm-hmm. But if you just go off that little small sampling right there, and this is what, depending on if you buy into Pro Football Focus and what they're like, yeah, man, NPF wasn't even better. So he's got a different name, but he really wasn't. The results weren't any different.
No, I mean, it's just, we've been talking about this all year, the struggle on the offensive line. But here's what you do. If you drafted Skornowski from Northwestern, that is a tackle, put him at tackle. Have you ever think about that? Put him at tackle and put somebody else at guard.
Well, I also don't think the quarterbacks were helping the offensive line either. And that is a part. I mean, Malik Willis. He doesn't know when to get rid of the ball. He holds on the ball.
He holds it a lot.
I mean, he took 4 sacks.
And I'm just saying, 5 minutes.
I just don't buy I'm not blaming it all on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. Like at some point, this, the quarterback's got to know when to get rid of the ball.
Yep.
Even if it's throwing it away, got to get rid of the ball rather than take a sack.
Yeah, but not even just taking the sack, but understand the situation. When I say understand the situation, you have 0 timeouts. You got to get out of bounds. I know you want to make something happen, but Mike Lestecker used to say this all the time: know when the journey's over. And when you know when the journey's over, you can't get those yards. If you can't definitely get a touchdown, get out of bounds. Because now if you don't get out of bounds, you're going to have to run and lose precious time that you need to get a score to try to get back in this game. So, I think Charles London and the other coaches maybe should have talked to him a little bit, say, okay, here's your reminders again. You have 0 timeouts. You got to make sure you get out of bounds and make sure he understands the situation.
Yeah, quarterbacks can help offensive line play.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's why I used to always say, and I know there was more examples than just Peyton Manning, but nobody ever talked about the offensive line in Indianapolis. So it was like, oh, their offensive line was great. Oh, you just think their offensive line was great the whole time Peyton Manning was there? Yeah. And in Denver? Like everywhere he went, he just had the greatest offensive line? Or maybe Peyton Manning knew what the defense was doing, was anticipating what the defense was doing, knew when to get rid of the ball, which is usually quick. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is the same. I mean, there's a lot of guys. Tom Brady. There's the smart Drew Brees. Those guys, they know they can anticipate what's coming, and they know how to get rid of the ball quick.
Yep, and I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna paint a picture of what you said. If they're playing cover 2, and when I say cover 2, there's 2 safety high. If you see one of the safeties consistently moving, that means he's got to get somewhere. And if he's standing still, that means he's staying there. Quarterbacks know that. So if I know that I got to anticipate that when he goes down, then I go to my read automatically to where I'm supposed to go. That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and having that information and being able to process it in a short amount of time can help everybody.
Everybody,
right? Including the offensive line,
absolutely,
the quarterback, being able to do that.
Yep.
On to practice, my friend.
I got to go, big dog.
Trust
in the process.
Trust it.
That's the song.
Who you guys got?
Oh, we got
week?
Baylor.
Ooh.
Hey.
To get to 500?
No, we get to. I don't know. I ain't with the.
What's your record?
State with 3 and. I got to get 3 and 5. 3 and 5 right now.
3 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were 3 and 4. Okay.
Wait a minute, are we?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah, 3 and 4.
Hey, it's great seeing you.
It's great seeing you. Thank you. You got me. What's one of them?
Second hour next.
Appreciate you.
560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Marina Roy. The Pentagon's placed about 2,000 U.S. non-combat troops on a heightened state of readiness for a possible deployment to the Middle East. Israeli troops are amassing on the border with Gaza ahead of what the Jewish state says will be a ground assault. The UN warning of a humanitarian crisis with nearly half of Gaza's population displaced. More from ABC's Ian Pannell.
Israel's already reduced many parts of Gaza to rubble since last week's attack. More than 2,700 Palestinians killed in just over a week and nearly 10,000 wounded. With the ground invasion looming, Israel calling for residents of northern Gaza, up to 1 million people, to flee south.
A manhunt is underway in the Belgian capital of Brussels, where police say a suspect on a scooter stopped and shot 2 people with what they call a war weapon in a suspected terrorist attack. Both victims died. This is ABC News.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Hey, at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find this Halloween.
Me thirsty.
Oh, hey Frankenstein. Did you enjoy that Cabernet?
Oh, good. Want new red.
Well, all the villagers are raving about this red blend.
Ooh.
And we have it at the lowest price in town.
Economical.
Find what you love and love what you find with the totally lowest prices for Halloween. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour here on this Monday afternoon. Darren McFarland here. Chris Sanders has left the building. Appreciate him joining me the first hour. Titans head coach Mike Vrabel talking to the media today, right now. And so we're going to find out what he has to say about what took place yesterday in London and their loss to the Ravens. Here's Titans head coach Mike Vrabel.
Throw the ball, just throw it to the guy that's open, or take control of the huddle. Getting them in and out, making sure that you're practicing all the things that you would want to practice. Were you running our offense? So I think that's been good. The 7-on-7 stuff and those throws that they've been having on Monday has been good. The stuff they do after practice with some of the practice squad receivers, going through the game plan, calling the huddle, going out of formations, they go up and down the field. It's just trying to find different ways to make sure that they're, one, are ready and one, are improving and developing, because we just only have so many guys to run full speed reps with.
How much you say the injury, Mike, has cost you for Will and can't cost you evaluation of him? And then what have you been able to figure out about him since the season started?
Well, that was, those preseason reps are critical. But I've also, seen some really good practice reps, seen stuff through camp, and then just didn't feel like it was didn't feel like he was ready to go into games under those circumstances. Seeing a more comfortable player, just a more comfortable person, a rookie. It's a unique situation. And coming in this league as a quarterback with an existing quarterback, with a player in his second year. That's unique, and I think he's handled that well. I think his comfort level and just being around here has improved.
Would you say similar to last year for Ryan? You mean when he first got hurt as opposed to late in the year when he needed surgery and all that?
Yeah, I would say similar to earlier in the year.
Did Nick do enough to win the job at left tackle?
I will still evaluate that, but what I did appreciate that Nick was he was into it. He acted like he wanted to be out there. He acted like he loved it and was pushing piles, jumping over the pile, just doing some of those things that we feel like are critical and a way to squeeze the last couple yards out of every run. He was down there. Had a really nice block on Tajay's screen, along with some other people, along with Brew and some other guys that were out there in front of that thing. It was a pretty cool clip.
Ryan is healthy. Is he automatically the guy, or is there any?
Yeah, Ryan. No, Ryan will be. If he can go, Ryan will be a quarterback.
What else goes into that evaluation, Mike, at left tackle, determining what you want to do there?
Do they know how to do their job? Do they, execute the play and the style in which we want it done? Can you get into the line of scrimmage on zone plays? Get to the right leverage, run off the football. Combination blocks. Can you displace alignment from their gap and climb up to the second level? Play pass that you're, firm in the inside, not getting beat in the middle of the pocket, and then third down, it's about blocking the edge rusher or playing for the game or being able to slide out on pressure based on whatever the call is. So I think there's an assignment and there's an execution, and then there's also a play style and a play demeanor that I think is important for offensive linemen.
You mentioned, I guess, Nicholas's energy and just the way he played. I know Jeffrey in the locker room after the game talked about wanting to see guys out there that want to fight and be out there. Do you have decisions like that to make at certain positions based on?
Don't have a lot of options.
Yeah.
We don't. We got what we got right now. So my job this week is to show them things that we've done that we can't win with, and things that we have done that will be the reason why we win, because there's a lot of them. Yeah.
The offensive line has struggled blocking all season long. It's not a new problem. We experienced that last year. Why wasn't there more done in the offseason to address that position group?
Well, I would disagree that they've struggled. They've struggled on third down. Hasn't been our best. Ran the football yesterday against a team that there hadn't been too many 10 and 12-yard runs on that clip. So I think we stood up to them and we blocked them. And I thought the protection against Indy, if we can stay out of a drop-back passing game, I think that's really critical. I would say that's a tall order for us and a lot of other teams. Is just when you get into a drop-back passing game. So I think that's something that we certainly want to make sure that we complement our run game and our offense with the ability to move the pocket, ability to max up. We saw a lot of those cool opportunities against Indy. Didn't have enough of them against Baltimore when we did have some of those play passes. But we'll have to be better on third down when they do run games and pressure. So that's where we're at right now.
You've seen 2-4 before in your time here and turned it into an AFC Championship game appearance. So what do you have to do as a head coach to hold this locker room together and keep vibes high despite a challenging start?
Well, I think it starts this week. It starts tomorrow. It starts with, my message of, showing them the things that, we've done well enough, and then just showing them the things that we can't do and think that we'll win, and making sure that the standard is it's coming to work and being consistent and demanding the accountability is huge, but the ones that can have to do a little bit more, and the ones that haven't have to improve.
What do you think of Jeffrey's comments about
just some guys need to decide if they want to play and want to be here.
I mean, Jeff's earned the right to say a lot as he wants, but you know, I think that could go for a lot of guys. You know, we've hit the quarterback 3 times the last 2 games, so we'd have to, you know, prepare there too. It's tough to win, and it's tough to cause turnovers when you hit the quarterback twice in 2 games.
Conte in there for instead of Avery, or excuse me, you had Avery in there for Fulton for a little bit. Was that injury related, or was it?
No, wanted to play. You know, I mean, wanted to try to give, you know, Trey, you know, a little bit of work and see how that went. And you know, I didn't think Christian was, you know, he was better. He wasn't as challenged as certainly the Colts game, and that's how it goes. And he triggered and he ran some toss cracks, and those corners have to show up. And you know, he was a willing participant in that. And when they ran the toss crack, and he tried to run a switch route or something, he communicated and pushed it off, you know, to the safety. And so, again, you get beat in this league as a corner. You got to come back and, you know, compete, and you can't let things spiral, and that goes for all of us. You can't let, you know, a mistake turn into something that's detrimental, and let your technique lag and your competitive spirit lag.
Do you think you responded well to being the same going forward?
I mean, I didn't get any of that from either of you. I apologize.
I don't see that being the same going forward.
I can't tell you what we're going to do tomorrow, let alone against the Falcons. It just see who's available to practice, see who can improve, try to have a plan for each guy. Guys that need some rest and recovery. Need some guys that are going to need some more reps, some speed reps that maybe they don't get a ton of during the season. Some younger guys, try to figure that out each and every day, and go from there.
Are you frustrated with Tier Tart not being out there for multiple weeks now and taking to social media, things like that?
I didn't see the social media. You know, I mean, I think that's you get, you know, back and forth conversations probably never do anybody any good on social media. Maybe I'll read the mean tweets tomorrow. That'd be my introduction. I'll read all the funny stuff that they say about us or me specifically. I did that one year. I think we ended up winning 12 games. So this coach sucks. This guy stinks. And, you know, ended up having a different tune. Guys all laughed about it. What I'm frustrated by is I'm frustrated when we lose. I am. We put a lot into this, and again, we have to make sure that we're doing everything we can, that when we're not out there, that we're doing everything we can to get back out there. You know, the other message that I try to tell them, because, you know, again, this is not talking about my career. I played in national football. I got hurt, right? I went through injury, but just maybe the mentality or the appearance that you're doing everything that you can to get back out there, that you're as engaged as you possibly can in the meetings, that you're doing as much conditioning or you're doing as much treatment as you possibly can. Because I think whether that makes you get back any quicker, but at least leaves no doubt that you're doing everything that you possibly can. That's just a reminder that I try to tell all of them, knowing that we're going to deal with injuries throughout the course of the year.
Does Traylon have a chance to get back after the bye?
I hope that we can see him, maybe even this week, going with, you know, even being able to throw with Will and Malik, figuring that Ryan probably is not going to throw this week, and hopefully we can get him out in some capacity. But you know, he looks good, and, you know, keep progressing.
Like you said yesterday, it's difficult to have an identity without winning. Are
Sure.
you confident that the message and the identity that you're pushing on this team to try to get them to have, that they're completely bought in and still where they have been?
I mean, I think they are. I mean, I thought we were going to win the game. We threw an interception. Quarterback couldn't push off. I thought we were going to win the game. Like, we just ran for 13 yards. We ran for 9 yards. We had a shitty run on 2nd and 1. It was 3rd and 2. Ryan tried to throw to Chig, and he couldn't push off his ankle, and we threw a pick. But up until then, I meant, I don't know, maybe teams go down there and fight 1 for 6 in a red zone. However the ball got down there, whether the defense did it, whether the punt team was shitty, or whether the offense left them the ball down there. But I know we stood up there and stopped them however many times inside the 10, inside the 5, with Kyle Pecco chasing guys down, making extra efforts, knocking guys back. I mean, we're going to fight. Like, if you want our identity, we're going to fight. We ain't going to quit. Like, we've been through this before. You could go down there and game like yesterday, 35-3 or whatever. Like, we're going to fight. They're going to fight. And then our job is to eliminate some of the mistakes, try to get a little bit of the details better, be better on third down, you know, score these chances, and we get the ball down there in the red zone. You know, I mean, you saw Derek, you know, scored from the 15 or whatever, but you know, got Chris Moore on a slip screen that looked really, really good until it wasn't, and missed a block, and on 3rd and 8, you know, so it's like we're going to go through this red zone and make sure that, you know, we're doing everything that we can to put ourselves in favorable positions to score touchdowns. You guys know that you know, got to be better and got to run it better. Can't have 3rd and 8s in the red zone. There's nowhere for them to cover, right? They're just going to just pack you in there, and then it's like, well, you throw a slip screen or throw a quick pass and hope somebody, you know, breaks a tackle, but it's not a normal 3rd and 8 out in the field where, you know, there's going to be some more space. So 3rd and 8 is tough, and, you know, we'll have to keep working it, keep scheming it, and keep practicing it.
Chris Moore and Josh Wally both in concussion protocol, and
I don't know. I mean, I would imagine, you know, I mean, I don't want to misspeak, but I know that they've been evaluated. I've seen both of those guys. For you know, sake of clarity, I would imagine that they're in the protocol. I think they're both doing well. Spoke to them this morning, and then saw them both when they came in here. So they were able to fly back with us, and I think that, you know, they're doing as well as they possibly could be doing. I don't want to, like, misspeak here, but they probably would imagine there's some form or fashion in the protocol.
It seemed like
Hamilton on both those hits.
Huh?
Kyle Hamilton was on both of those hits. How would you feel about that ejection? Is that the way?
I think it's probably warranted. I mean, you know, the one with Wiley, I don't know, like, it's kind of forearmed or whatever. Josh is, you know, he's a linear target, and he's going to have to get his pads down and, you know, protect himself. You know, I would imagine that the one there in the pass, the defenseless, and our players in this league have done a good job for the most part of trying to get that out of the game, and it's never going to be perfect as fast as it is and as quickly as it happens, and sometimes the body posture of where the football is, and that, you know, these guys then kind of crunching down, and then the target lowers, the head comes down. You know, we just talk to our guys about hitting at or below the football. And it's really all you can do is if you want to avoid an injury to you or the other player, you know, or a penalty and a fine.
What'd you say to Kyle about the punt return?
I mean, we just got to catch our punts, and, you know, that's and I've got to help him. I do. I have to transition better, you know, from the situation of what's going on. Are they going for it? You know, Shane, hey, what do you like on 3rd down? You know, what are they thinking about doing? And then being able to transition to, you know, our gray team, which is our D-stay, you know, and telling them to stand in the end zone and not do anything. So I can help them, but that also, you know, we have to catch punts in the National Football League.
Did you just not have a returner in a similar, like a?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, just making sure, like, guys, we got a great stop, you know, again, and so I have to transition more quickly from what was happening and continue to work a play ahead like I try to do. But in that particular case, you know, we're seeing what they're doing based on where they're at on the field. Are they going to try to go for it? Making sure that we got, you know, our defensive personnel out there as opposed to punt return or whatever substitution group, and, you know, just being better there, everybody, and then, you know, being sound and not, you know, whether it's a long return, a muff punt, like those are, you know, can't happen.
You said yesterday that some of the problems might not be correctable on the team.
Well, I mean, that's in life. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make yourself any taller. You can't, you know what I mean? It's like, so whatever we have, again, the issues that have come up, I've talked about is the 3rd down on offense, the red zone, we have to be better on third down on defense. Our pass defense has to be better. We got covering punts. Like, we got every gunner that we got out there. They're both undrafted free agent rookies, and they're fighting their ass off. But
If that is the case, I mean, should any decisions be made at all looking more towards long-term than for just this year, if the problems?
Well, I think we're always looking for this year and problems. I mean, Anthony Kendall, Matt Jackson, like, they earned the right to be on this team, and Anthony has done a fantastic job. And when they punted, Anthony took his guy in a single block and blocked him behind the line of scrimmage and knocked him on the ground. So, we have to, when we cover these punts, it's not just all on a gunner, right? We got to cast the net. We got to get our tails out of there, and we got to go down there and limit the space that they have. And we didn't have that, whether that was the gunners, the interior players. We're all at fault. The only guy that made anything right was Stoney. It was an unbelievable effort to get the guy on the ground and allow the defense to defend what they could and give up just 3 points there. So, everything works in unison, and then trying to get that unit execution is what we talked about earlier in this conversation with you guys, is trying to get the players to understand. It starts with yourself. It starts with me. It starts with the coaches. And then it's, about our position, and then it's about our unit, and then ultimately about the team's success.
Mike, it's week 7. Maybe would rather have the bye come later, but for this team at this moment, is this maybe a good time to have this bye?
It's the only time when it was coming, Teresa. It wouldn't matter what, this is what you make of it. And can we win this week? Can we win with our attitudes and our practice schedule and getting stuff done and being open-minded to improve and to get the information and translate it onto the field? That's all that matters.
They're clearly a fast team.
Mm-hmm.
And I know speed, is an area that you wanted to improve upon. After that game, how do you feel you improved in that area as opposed to last year?
We can always be faster. Yeah, I think I'll say that forever. Like, we can
anticipate making a change at punt returner, given Kyle's issues catching punts so far?
I would imagine that we'll have as many guys that can catch a punt back there, just like we have in the previous weeks. Monty Hooker had a cast on his thumb. He's the backup punt returner. So.
Okay, there we go. That was most of Mike Vrabel today. That was live, talking about what took place in London and their loss to the Baltimore Ravens. So we will step away. We'll come back. We'll head east. We'll go to Knoxville. We'll bring in our man Vince Ferrara from 99.1, the sports animal there. Huge win for the Vols over Texas A&M. We'll talk about that with him and look ahead to the next big one facing the Vols. And we'll do that next here on the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
Brad Fowler, Century 21 Right Realty, is reminding listeners that thousands of women lose their lives in the battle against breast cancer every year. So women over 40, please schedule a checkup today. It just may make a difference. Brad Fowler, Century 21 Right Realty, is our area's premier and most trusted real estate professional, backed by years of experience. So if you're buying, selling, moving, or improving, give the pros a call today at 615-519-3339. 615-519-3339. That's Brad Fowler, Century 21 Right Realty. He's a professional who cares.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
When you want down-home cooking, just head downtown. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel serves traditional Southern cooking, sourced fresh and local, just like Grandma used to make. Start your day with a Southern smoked breakfast bowl or a Music City omelet. If you're looking for variety, hit the biggest breakfast buffet in Music City or get your fill at the world-famous Biscuit Bar. Kitchen Notes dishes up lunch with traditional Southern tomato pie, country ham, and classic picnic ambrosia. Serving breakfast Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10:30, and lunch is served 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Kitchen Notes doesn't forget the brunch crowd. Brunch at Kitchen Notes is every Friday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., featuring cast iron pancakes, made-to-order waffles and eggs, and ice-cold carafes of mimosas. Enjoy farm-to-table Southern dishes made from treasured family recipes. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I warned you. I said, don't do that. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing it.
Did it.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Then I got burned.
This has been my point with the Cowboys. It's always something with them. You never know what it's going to be. It's an injury, bad play calling, high-priced free agents. They've drafted well, and they can't beat the Cardinals one random Sunday.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
It finally feels like fall here on this Monday afternoon. One half of the McFarland Show here. Darren, here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Let's head to Knoxville and bring in our buddy Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal. He hosts the morning show there with John Wilkerson. And I told you last week when he joined us on Thursday, not his typical Monday because the Vols were off the previous weekend. So we decided to push it to later in the week, preview kind of the game against A&M. And I said, what's your prediction? You're very good at predicting these games. And I told Damon during the break, I should have listened to Vince. Then he said Tennessee by 7 to 10 points. The final score, Tennessee 20, A&M 13. You did it again. And by the way, if you'd have told me the Vols were going to win a game by scoring 20 points, I would have laughed at you. And they did.
You know, we just ran out of time. I was going to give you the exact score, Dan, but I knew you had to get to break, right?
Well, that's it. Rub my nose in it. You deserve to do that. Not the game we expected, though, right? We didn't expect it to be low scoring like that, but man, Tennessee proved they can win a game like this, but we've never seen that since Josh Heupel's been the coach.
Nope, we have not. I mean, he started his press conference and he was like, wow, how about that? He's like, I can't remember the last time I was in a game like that. And by like that, he didn't mean just a close game. He meant a close, low-scoring defensive battle. He hasn't been in those games. In fact, he is now 1-9 as a head coach when his team scores fewer than 30 points in the game, which means he was 0-9 prior to Saturday. He's now 1-7 at Tennessee, and he was 0-2 at UCF when the opponent scored less than 30, when the team scored less than 30 points. So his teams almost always score over 30 points, and that's the key to victory. And they had some shootouts, and you know, it was crazy, Darren. We've talked about it, how last year the offense was so good. They had 2 of their 3 worst defensive games last year, and they won them.
Yeah.
Like the 3 worst, they won 2 of them because their offense was so good. But this offense is not like that, and so they have to be able to find other ways to win. and they did it. So yes, there are flaws and there are things you can point to. Although the way college football and the season has gone, I don't know who is flawless outside of Athens, but there's things to work on. There's things to be disgruntled about, and certainly people are. But man, there's things to be encouraged by, and they still have everything in front of them because of the defense and because the special teams won it out over A&M on Saturday.
I think they flashed up a graphic at halftime when they went to Heupel on the field and said, I believe it was 0-9. I think that's right. They were 0-9 when trailing at the half. And so they were trailing at the half. And so he also broke that streak as well.
Yeah. And look, they're starting to win close games now, which is, it happened. They've won 3 of their last 4 in games decided by a score. And they weren't winning any of those games, as you know, in the previous regime. So a lot of things are turning over. Heupel's 23-9 now, and 18. He's won 18 of his last 22. 7 wins over ranked teams since he took over in 2021. That's 4th in the nation. I mean, you can go on and on. All the long win streak at home. In SEC play, I think it's 13 overall at home and 7 straight SEC home wins. I mean, just a lot of things that are stacking up in terms of wins. So it looks different for sure, but the results have them there, right, in position to play Bama and see where a win over Alabama would do. I tell you one thing, Darren. None of these wins that Tennessee has had have resonated with the pollsters or Vegas or, frankly, some of the Vol Nation. But this will be their first game against a top 25 team, and so if they were able to win on the road at Alabama, you bet your backside that would resonate not only with Tennessee fans but across the country. And think about what they could look at and be excited about, even without this prolific offense, everything that they could start dreaming about for this year once again.
How big was the D. Williams punt return for a touchdown?
It was everything. It was the difference in the game. I mean, they weren't able to do hardly anything offensively since their touchdown to tie the game at 7. I mean, it was not what we were seeing. They were in a funk and they were missing deep shots, and actually they were in a stretch where they were getting glorious field position a couple of times starting in A&M territory, and they weren't coming out with it. You had 4th down decisions, sometimes going for it, sometimes and passing on sure field goals, and other times kicking field goals and missing, and it just was not clicking for them at all, and it changed the game. But it started with D. Williams downing the outstanding Jackson Ross punt inside the 1-yard line. It was him that downed that ball. And it pinned A&M back. A&M nearly was tackled for a safety. They were 3 and out, and so they had to quick punt out of their own end zone. And so it was a low line drive. Tennessee didn't go after the punt. They set up the return instead. Got great blocking, and then you saw D. Williams do his magic with the football. And so all of that, you had the special teams, you had defense, you had special teams again, and the dynamic playmaker. Darren, that's why he practiced last week on offense. Jalen Wright said that's why he's on offense now. We haven't seen him in a game on offense, but fans have been calling for it. We've been talking about it here on our station. It's something that Tennessee, to get a jolt on offense, I think, needs to do, and I think eventually will do. But they got to make sure he's ready, because those wide receivers, they have to know a lot of things. Even if you're just going to run some simple stuff, you still need to be able to adjust and know what you're seeing from the defense. And so I think they want to make sure that he knows what he's doing, and then you're not going to have a disaster there. But, man, if they can get him ready, that is the speed difference maker that they haven't had this year with Squirrel White not being able to get loose, but with Jalen Hyatt now with the New York Giants, and congratulations to the Giants for figuring out that they can throw him the football last night.
Almost pulled out a huge upset last night in Buffalo. How do you explain? And I get it. Something had to give, right? Tennessee has been very good running the football. Texas A&M has been very good at stopping the run. How do you explain the Vols out-rushing A&M 232-54?
I'm honestly not surprised.
No?
I think I thought A&M's rushing offense was flawed and overrated. You looked at outside of the Arkansas game at Jerry's World, a lot of those numbers were against inferior competition, and I just didn't see it. Plus, their offensive line is not among the best in the league. So I thought Tennessee, as well as they've played the run, and the fact that against good teams, better teams, I should say, A&M has not been great running the football. I thought Tennessee would definitely outrush them, and wow, to do that, A&M with as good a run defense as there is in this league, nobody's run on them. They were giving up, I think, 84 yards per game, and Tennessee did that to them.
Right.
Tennessee's got the best rushing offense in the league, and apparently that's better than the best rush defense because they got three guys that can do it. It's not even really – what's crazy is it's not like last year where your rushing numbers had a lot of quarterback runs. Joe Milton had 34 yards in the game, popped one long run or longer run, but it's three running backs. Jalen Wright has 400-yard games this year and closed out last year great. So it's a real physical group and an offensive line that now has its starting group back. And Cooper Mays has made, I know I talked about it last week, made a massive difference in a lot of ways with them.
Is Joe Milton going to be good enough to go to Tuscaloosa and win? How concerned are you? Yes, we're talking about this really good win over A&M on Saturday and all the factors that we've already talked about, but it certainly wasn't because of Joe Milton. A pretty pedestrian day for the quarterback. Is he going to be good enough to push them past Alabama, or what needs to change? What are your just overall thoughts on the quarterback play?
Well, I expected more. I think the coaching staff expected more, and it's got to be better. Like that performance in Tuscaloosa, and granted, I know that not everything else is going to be identical, so it's not an absolute. But that type of performance, when you have more penalty yards, for example, than passing yards, they're not winning in Tuscaloosa because that is a better team than Texas A&M, and you're on the road. So, yeah, it has to be better. Does it need to be Hendon Hooker last year? I don't think so, Darren. I think it needs to be at least a threat and needs to be, say, like we've seen from time to time where they'd hit some and not all of them, but at least it was there. And imagine if they were able to hit on the deep ball with as good as they run the football, like the bind that they would put defenses in and how good they could be offensively. That is really what is the missing piece to a team that could be in college football contention because of how far the defense has come from a year ago. But that's a big if and a big area that needs to improve. So to answer your question, himself, he's got to be better, but it's not just him. That wide receiving group, to me, is as disappointing, if not more, than anything on that team. Ramel Keaton with another drop.
Yeah.
And Ramel Keaton put in as much work in the offseason as anybody. I mean, look how great he played filling in for Cedric Tillman last year. And for whatever reason, maybe he put too much pressure on himself that he was going to be the number one or whatever. It has not gone well. And Dante Thornton has done hardly anything. I mean, he came in for a snap or two, and then he came back in for a snap or two after sitting for a while. They immediately threw him the ball on a quick slant, and it bounced off his shoulders into the hands of McAllen Castles, tight end for Tennessee, and so like that's your re-entry into the game. I don't know why it's not working for him, but Squirrel White up game, then really can't get in sync, and just they missed Brew McCoy's blocking, so they had to throw different routes because they just didn't have the same kind of blocking. They've got to figure it out, and I think the coaches have to figure it out how to get the most out of what they have to work with. Because if it's just like that, it won't work. And honestly, the biggest thing, Darren, that I worry about in Tuscaloosa is the crowd noise. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about it. The last 3 true road games Tennessee has played.
It's not favored them. They've not fared well at all.
At Florida, at South Carolina last year, at Georgia.
Yep.
That overrides so many things to me right now that they're doing really, really well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And we know that'll be in effect. How about as we kind of close this out, how about Georgia being at the end of the schedule and the unfortunate news of them in town playing Vanderbilt this weekend and losing one of the best players in the country to a high ankle sprain. Now he's going to have the tightrope surgery, and they're saying 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, he'll be out for that game. How big is it knowing, and I know there's a lot more work to be done and a lot more big games that we'll be talking about, the fact that the number 1 team in the land and Tennessee, still a team still remaining on Tennessee's schedule, is not going to have Brock Bowers.
Well, 4 weeks is Tennessee. Okay, so 4 to 6 weeks, that would be if he's like on the front end of that.
Yeah.
Then
do you see that though? I don't see him playing.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, look at the next closest example that I can think of with that surgery was Cedric Tillman, and it was not the earliest in the projection of when he would come back. So, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, he came back against Alabama last year. But anyway, it kind of drug on beyond the best case scenario. So they can still win some games without him. I think they have still more talent at that tight end position. They have wide receivers that they really haven't been able to go to all that much. Ladd McConkey's been banged up. So they still have weapons on that team and a really good offensive line and a quarterback short of a pick against Vandy that's been really good. So when they're interested, Darren, that's the thing. This year you're seeing them when they're not interested, close games, but when they're interested, I think they can still put it to people. So I think they'll still be fine, honestly, even though he's an elite player.
Good stuff as always. Vinny, appreciate the visit. You have an outstanding week, and maybe we'll check in with you at the end of the week and get your prediction, because we need to pay closer attention to your predictions, if that's okay.
Sure. Love to do it.
Yeah.
Anytime, man.
All right. Thank you, Vince.
Appreciate it.
Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal there in Knoxville. He did. He said they're going to beat A&M by 7 to 10 points. They won by 7. All right, we'll come back. Michigan will get to you on the other side. Maybe he's got a prediction for us or two. 615-844-5600 is the phone line or the text line. More of the McFarland Show next.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
If you're looking for something fun to do with family, friends, co-workers, or clients, look no further than Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Visit any of their 5 Middle Tennessee Strike and Spare Fun Center locations in Hermitage, Donaldson, Tusculum, Hendersonville, or Murfreesboro. With bowling, games, food, drink, and party options for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, roller skating, bungee trampoline, laser tag, and much, much more. All locations of Strike and Spare Family Entertainment are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Check them out online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare Family Entertainment, where fun is bowling.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/hands-only-CPR and become a lifesaver today.
The Jim Rome Show.
I get a lot of vacation. I understand that. However, I don't take a lot of sick days. These things are not one and the same. That was not like I worked 8 straight days or I worked Super Bowl Sunday. I think I'll give myself a day off. I earned it. Hey, and by the way, I could, because I have those days. I pride myself in not taking sick days. I hate that. We usually grind through it. But honestly, it was the right thing. In that case, it was the right thing.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville's Sports Radio.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Let's go down to Murfreesboro and bring in Michigan. Michigan, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I apologize for not calling in last week and giving you any predictions, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I did not have a good feel about anything that was going to happen this weekend. And every year, there's at least one weekend, sometimes two, in the college football calendar, and then especially in the NFL calendar, where just up is down, left is right, nothing makes sense. I mean, the Giants are running out an offense that is just a cadaver of its former self out there, and almost beat the Bills last night.
I know.
I don't have any explanation for what happened in the Jets-Eagles game. I got nothing. Nothing that happened in that game made a lick of sense to me. I mean, you could show me the dots. You could pay for, whatever it is, the all 52 that all the Twitter nerds pay for to tell you how they understand offensive line better than you do. I don't know what was going on in that game. None of it made any sense to me. So I'm glad I sat the weekend out because I got to just enjoy it. I got a couple things I want to say. I'm sure Eric already called in today. I'm sure Titans fans have been calling in all day. Darren, we're around the same age. We've known each other a long time. The benefit of having watched a lot of football is that you pick up on a lot of quotes of wisdom over the years. And one of my favorite is from 20th century poet, if ever there was one, Mr. Bill Parcells, who said, "You are what your record says you are." And Titans fans, I got some bad news for all of us. We're a last place football team right now. That's what we are. It's what our record says we are. I don't want to hear about anything about John Robinson or, Christian Fulton, bad draft picks. Listen, bottom line is you are what your record says you are. And right now, the Tennessee Titans are a last-place football team. And Has there been an update on Tannehill? I've been in meetings about meetings all day, which is the thing you get to do when you do what I do as a day job. Has there been an update on Tannehill that confirmed anything?
No, there's nothing. Now, they're
okay.
They're coming back they came back from London. They're going into a bye week. There won't be much.
Right. So similar injury last year, right? Same general area.
Yep.
And he was out, 4 to 6 weeks?
Well, he didn't finish
the
season.
Make it back for the end of the year?
Yeah, didn't make it back.
So we're going to find out what we have in 7 and 8. Right? 6 afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9. We're going to find out what Malik is and what he isn't. I was impressed with some things I saw, and I was not impressed with the fact that he had a full holster that he was unwilling to press the hammer on several times. Who knows what Mr. Mayonnaise has, going on for him, putting mayonnaise in his coffee. I got no idea, right? We'll find out when he has to take snaps under center, but that's all I got to say about the Titans.
Okay.
You are what your record says you are. You're a last place football team. The other place I'm going to go, I think you know where this is I'm starting to get really full of myself.
You buying Super Bowl tickets?
About the team wearing a Honolulu blue. I have never in my 4 decades of life imagined a scenario where this team would host a divisional round playoff game. And I'm starting to consider the thought that this is a possibility and that I might actually have to think about expending dollars on that. And again, I work in finance, which is perfect because I am the cheapest person you will ever meet in your entire life. But that's a trip I would spend money for because that is a once in a lifetime thing that I'm not sure is going to come around again. I'm not willing to let myself go there yet. Like, I still think the Lions' depth is a real problem. And, that's not a very good Tampa team. They're tough. Don't get me wrong. Like, they're tough. You're not getting out of there, with an easy day by any means. But I don't know that they're much better than like 9 and 8 when all is said and done. They're starting Baker Mayfield at quarterback, and we know what Baker is at this point. But the defense playing the way it's playing, the way they like to run the ball, Jared Goff, the guy that Sean McVay couldn't wait to get rid of 3 or 4 years ago, absolutely does not throw for 340 and 2 touchdowns in that game outdoors against that defense. That's a game where he goes 212, where he has a Minshew line where if he goes over 300, there's 3 picks going the other way. He's really impressed me. He's a lot smarter. He takes what's there and doesn't try to make things out of nothing. I know he's not a realistic MVP candidate. That's going to go to guys who have way more counting stats. But he might be a top 10 MVP guy. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. I'm really full of myself, and I can't describe this feeling because I've never had it in my life. So
well, Michigan,
I'm going to let it marinate for a couple days. Yeah,
enjoy it, man. Enjoy it while it lasts, and who knows how long it'll last. And certainly we'll have a lot of fun with our top 10 on Wednesday because remember, Detroit and Tampa played. And one person on the show has been really high on Detroit, and the other's been really high on Tampa. So we'll have fun on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. We'll also take our final break real quick. Come back. Nate, we'll get to you before we get out of here. We'll be back in a couple minutes here on the McFarland Show.
And now, Thompson Handyman is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. This message is brought to you by Thompson Handyman, serving Middle Tennessee since 1997. For all your home remodeling and handyman needs, give the pros a call today at 629-248-0022. 629-248-0022. That's Thompson Handyman, going the extra mile for safety. They're professionals who care.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-898-6155 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. What do you have to lose? Call 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155.
Dinner with Friends is a fine dining restaurant located in Nashville's prestigious West End. It features an elegant presentation and exceptional service. One of the first non-alcoholic restaurants in Nashville. They pride themselves in professional and courteous service. A popular choice among locals and tourists alike. If you're in town for the ball game or you're just visiting with friends, Dinner with Friends is the preferred location for those seeking a rich, modern restaurant with serene atmosphere and top-notch guest experience. Your server will uphold the high standards of etiquette and hospitality and guide you through a unique dining experience. Enjoy the ambiance and reconnect with friends. Specialty dining will feature a set menu, a dedicated server, and a personal chef. Enjoy a delicious combination of meats and vegetables at a very affordable price. There's no place in Nashville like it. A unique experience. Come and have dinner with friends. 1719 West End Avenue. To make a reservation, call right now. 615-730-9559. Dinner with Friends, a proud sponsor of TSU football on WNSR.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is the Grant Vogue and John Burton Show.
These are on True TV.
If you have Xfinity, just say True TV into your remote. It'll pop right up.
I tell my TV to do things, and it does.
Yeah, well, the things you ask your TV to do, I mean, you know.
Well, ever since I can't get Skinamax anymore.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Thank you, big voice guy. Let's go to Nate down in Columbia. Nate, what's up before we get out of here?
What's up, guys? So I know this is going to come off as whiny and everything like that. But, yes, there was terrible play from both Tennessee and A&M on Saturday. But isn't holding back a receiver's arm pass interference?
It can be, yes. It can be called, yes.
There were at least 5 calls going both ways that I saw that it seemed like should have been called. I understand the game's fast and you don't always have the best angle, but, I mean, it just looked bad, the officiating.
I will say this, though, Nate.
Tennessee A&M game.
If you watch the end of the Bills-Giants game, a lot of it would tell you that holding a receiver's arm or jersey the whole entire way is not pass interference or holding, if you watch the end of that game. Because did you watch what the Bills defender did the entire time in the end zone?
I actually did not watch any of that game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny that you're bringing that up because that's literally what the Bills defender did last night, and they didn't call a thing. And it was right in front of a ref. And he held his jersey in his arm the whole entire time for like 5 yards. And that was that was the game. So it was just a bad no call, in my opinion.
Well, you have a great evening, guys.
You too, Nate. Thanks for the call, as always. Got Cowboys at the Chargers tonight. see if Dallas can rebound after their loss last week. The Chargers, of course, coming off a bye week.
Hey, thanks for letting me hang out with you all day today.
Damon, 4 hours we logged together today. How about that?
The longest day I've had in a long time. But a good day.
It was a lot of fun. We do thank Greg Pogue for having us in this morning. That'll do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
He's nationwide on CBS Sports Radio. This is the Zach Jones Show. Here's your host, Zach Gill.